believe that we are talking about Volkanovski as the greatest unarmed combatant in the world at that weight class. I think it's further than that, guys.
Heavy power, excellent head movement, getting on the inside and landing with big shots. But the man is the real deal. The wrestling credentials are there. The boxing is there.
I'm so composed. I've got the good fight IQ and I've got the job done. And hey, I'm telling you, I'm going to stay champion for a long time.
With Alexander Volkanovski's next title defense kicking in, another title fight is now official for UFC 273, and things seem to be very interesting. Hello MMA fans of MMA-INSIDE. Today we bring it to you one of the most anticipated fight in the featherweight division, when Alexander Volkanovski will go toe-to-toe with the Korean Zombie. Alexander Volkanovski is up to defend his featherweight title against Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie, in the main event of the pay-per-view card April 9th. The event is set up for Jacksonville, Florida. The co-main event will be a bantamweight unification bout between champion Aljamain Sterling and interim champ Petr Yan. Both the title fights were initially set for UFC 272 in Las Vegas, but were moved off that date. UFC 272 was headlined by Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal grudge match, which ended up with a fair decision win in the round 5 for Colby Covington's favor.
For the winner, by unanimous decision, Colby Covington.
Volkanovski, 23-1, has won 20 straight fights overall, including his 10 in the UFC. He is coming off a unanimous decision win over Brian Ortega at UFC 266 last September, in one of the best fights of 2021.
For the winner, by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed UFC featherweight.
Volkanovski defeated Max Holloway for the title at UFC 245 3 years ago, and now has 2 title defenses. There is no doubt he is no less than Thanos of this division. While on the other hand, Jung is coming off a unanimous win over Dan Ige last June.
For the winner, by unanimous decision, the Korean Zombie, Chan Sung Jung,
and has won 3 of 4 overall. The veteran of the UFC hails from Korea and is known for being a superb action fighter. Jung fought once before for the featherweight title, a loss to Jose Aldo at UFC 163 back in June 2013.
Jose Aldo looking for the finish. Trying to defend his belt. And it is all over! Jose Aldo remains the UFC featherweight champion!
Volkanovski was originally supposed to face Holloway, who had to withdraw from the original March 5th date because of injury. However, Holloway is resting in the meantime for April 9th and is petitioning UFC to be a backup for the Volkanovski versus Jung matchup. Daniel Cormier recently offered his 2 thoughts on why it is almost impossible to bet against the champion in this matchup. The clash between Volkanovski and the Korean Zombie came to pass after Max Holloway was forced to pull out of his trilogy fight against the Great. Max withdrew from the event because he got caught up in a pre-existing injury. While in conversation with Ryan Clark, DC offered fans some analysis into Jung's skill set against Volkanovski. Regardless of his fighting capability, DC warned Volkanovski about the power that Jung packs in his hands. However, he was reluctant to bet against the Great. Here's what the former 2-division champion had to say.
Now, when you look at the matchup between him and the champion, it's hard to really choose anybody over the champ today because of his supremely well-rounded skill set, his cardio, his champion's mentality. Alexander Volkanovski has not lost in so long, and he is starting to make it look easier. So if you look at the Korean Zombie, he has got his work cut out for him. But Volkanovski will stand with you. And when you stand with the Zombie, you are always in danger because that guy has dynamite in his hands.
Alexander Volkanovski takes dig at Giga Chikadze for disrespecting Calvin Kattar and Chan Sung Jung. Top contenders in the featherweight division jumped at the opportunity to fight Alexander Volkanovski after Max Holloway's withdrawal. Giga Chikadze was one of those contenders too. Volkanovski went off on Chikadze while in conversation with Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour. He blamed Chikadze for overlooking Kattar and disrespecting Jung and himself with his antics on social media. Alexander said in reply to his behavior,
"You've got a man, a top contender, in front of you, and you acting like you're just going to walk through this guy. Not only, let's win first before you start carrying on. You're probably going to get injured. It's not the fight's not too far away and all that. Like, there's so many things that come into play, and then he's just sitting there, obviously the chumping or whatever. I don't really care about that. But trying to say you're taking the easy way and then disrespecting Zombie like you did, just disrespecting everybody."
It's definite that the fight between the two is now seemingly interesting and got on its heels, with adhering respect that Volkanovski has for Zombie. It will be fascinating to see what happens inside the octagon. Nevertheless, it will be interesting to see them both exchanging jabs. So that's enough from us today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to give us a like, and hey, subscribe, or Volkanovski will smash you up.